Welcome back to Football with Ben Roethlisberger. My name is Spence, and as always, I am joined here with two-time Super Bowl champion, Ben Roethlisberger. Nice.
Welcome, Spence.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you here. It
Yeah.
really means a lot to have you here.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to be welcomed into your home.
We are back at it. It is Sunday night. Cowboys-Niners. What an epic, classic battle. When I grew up watching, those were the teams. Montana, Young, all the classic teams. But anyway, we're watching that. We big win today for the Steelers.
Yes, sir.
Beating them birds, which is what we seem to be doing a lot. I think we've won like 6 of 7 or something. 5 is some ridiculous amount. Like we've won
Against
a lot
Baltimore?
against Baltimore recently.
Yeah, well, I expect nothing less.
But a big game. I got to watch a little bit of on my phone as I was caddying, and then watched a little bit more when I got home. But I have not. I know what happens. I watched it all on my phone, but I didn't get to really get into it. I've got 8 minutes to go in the game. But I think I've watched and saw enough of it, and like I said, I did see the end of it. Just I watched it on my phone to talk about it on here a little bit, give my 2 cents. But
Yeah.
first and foremost, congrats to Coach Tomlin and the Steelers for getting the win.
Hey, got that dub. I will say, as somebody who was yelling at my TV the entire time that didn't get to watch it, wasn't pretty.
No,
Didn't always look great. But as you've told me many times, got the win. That's all that counts.
a win's a win,
Yeah.
and you wanted it to be pretty. You wanted to bounce back from Houston. You wanted to sit there and be like, listen, we're going to come back and do this. But I'm sure the fans, wanted pretty.
Yeah.
But honestly, when it boils down to it, it's Baltimore, and you just want to win the Baltimore game. You just want to find a way to win, and that's what they did. And I thought Baltimore, in watching it, gave that game away in more ways. I mean, they dropped 4, 5, maybe 6 touchdowns. Balls that wide open guys in the end zone. Some weren't in the end zone, but they were going to be in the end zone by the time they caught it. They get first and goal on the 4, and they can't score, which Baltimore's supposed to be a running team that can get in. Give our defense credit again. Big fumble. Ogunjobi, big punch out. We recovered it. So it was just I feel like the Steelers have Lamar's number because it seems like every time they play him, it's just that was my Steelers just get the defense. I mean, the defense is going to carry this team because they are so good.
Yes. Well, that was my thought because what they do last week? Who did they play last week? The Browns.
Yes.
Yeah, and they putting up numbers if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we talked about it here. It's like, oh yeah, they're going to come back, especially after we take that L to Houston. It's like, okay, this is going to be difficult. But it does seem like every time Lamar shows up here in Pittsburgh, it's just a different Lamar.
From him running to throwing, he had some really good throws today.
Yeah.
But he had some really bad throws too.
Sure.
And like I said, there were balls that were dropped, and that's called inexcusable. But you can't have it in this rivalry, in this game, when a game is always so close and the score is always so close. You can't afford to drop those. So the Steelers have to say thank you, and thank you to Baltimore for not helping on TJ Watt more. What do we? Good for what TJ's like. Thank you. What do we what's going on? I'm sitting there watching this game, and I'm watching the Ravens really rush 4 a lot of the night. They threw some blitzes, but they rushed 4 and tried to get home. And I watched the Steelers do their thing, and I just kept waiting. They did chip sometimes. They did have help, but why wouldn't you take a page out of what Houston did last week and put a guy there, chip him with the back, put a tight end, do something? TJ, maybe send some flowers to John Harbaugh. There was one play on one of TJ's, I don't even know what his final stat line was, one of his many sacks, it felt like.
Yeah.
He went around the edge, and the tackle went to put his hands on him and literally didn't even touch him. What are we doing?
Yes.
TJ is one of the best, if not the best, defensive players in the game of football.
Yes.
How are you not putting 2 and 3 people on him? Thank you, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's why we've dominated you recently.
And they should know better.
Absolutely.
Twice a year, they should know better.
This guy wreaks havoc. He's running all over the field.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish I knew his stat line. I mean, from the fumbles, sacks, hurries. I mean, even on times when you think Lamar's going to be able to outrun someone to the sideline, he's chasing and it makes him throw the ball away. Like the dude is TJ Watt is one of the baddest game wreckers that I've seen and that this game has seen in a long, long time.
Yes.
Different. And Alex Highsmith had a great game. We had a lot of guys, but you can't put one guy on TJ Watt.
No.
I don't care who it is. I'm trying to think like who's the best right side. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You got to put someone else out there.
And you'll see JJ in the media a lot talk about how his brother is the best. And it seems like this nepotism, but it's just not. He's just,
No,
it's just not. It's like
facts.
TJ, yeah, and TJ's
facts.
Yes.
I mean, but good for them. I mean, there's some things that, we talk about the offense and like to see some things do better. But when you just look at flat out what the defense did and what TJ did, like I said, they're benefited by some drops and some sketchy things at the end of the half. I don't know what in the world Lamar was doing or that the Ravens were doing. If I was to predict it by not knowing, by looking at what John Harbaugh looked like when that play happened, is he was like doing one of these things. I think it was a no play. I think it was like we're going to try and draw them off sides, and if they jump, free play, or first down, we get to keep going. Because if you look at it, they lined up and Lamar did the leg and the center did the head bob. And Lamar moved the back away from TJ.
Which,
there we go.
Strike one.
And he did the leg and the kick and the center did his head thing. And when he came up, somebody for the Steelers kind of like not close to the neutral zone, but definitely kind of took a step like they were going to.
Yeah.
And we used to allow Pouncey to do that. Pounce would, it was on him when we tried to draw him off sides. If someone jumped in the neutral zone, he would snap it because we wanted the free play.
Yeah. And
so we didn't take the old, some teams do they put their hand out and create like just a 5-yard penalty. We want the home run.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that center saw movement and thought he was offsides, and so he snapped it. Because in the back tried to come across late for TJ and Lamar rolls out. But like I said, at the end of that, when you watch Harbaugh and his reaction, I don't think that was planned. But and it stinks because when you're a quarterback and the center snaps it because he thinks something. That happened to us. Every once in a while, whether the guy jumped and got back or the ref didn't call it, we would get Pounce would snap it and you're like, it's not a free play.
And now you got to figure something out.
You think it's a free play, maybe you chuck it, and you're like, free play, and you're like, oh, shoot, it's not.
But you don't have anything called.
So usually you don't. It's like
people just running
off. And that's why he just kind of rolled out and he threw it to a spot that was, like at that point, you got to at least put it closer to someone for a chance.
Yeah.
So anyway, you get that at the end, because that's 3 points. That's a guarantee. That's Tucker's kicking. Yeah. Boz and Tuck, the two best kickers are out there. Like, you're going to get points. And so it's just, I'm like, oh, that was just, I don't know what's going on.
You talking about, getting 3 points, man, at least. It made me think of the fourth. They were going for it in a fourth down. They were going for it in the first half. Ravens were before the end of the half. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What was that play?
Yeah, it's just there's just a lot of, there were just some weird things going on out there.
I mean, I enjoyed it because I'm like, yeah, bro, keep doing that all day. I was like, let's take that all day.
I'm not really sure what was going on, but there's just some weird things out there. Like I said, Baltimore comes in here and they don't look like normal Baltimore when they come play us for whatever reason.
I don't know the history of the rivalry well enough to know, does that change when they go back home? So
they usually play better at home, but that team that showed up today didn't look like the Ravens that you watch when they go even on the road to other places.
Sure, yeah.
And give the Steelers some credit. I thought, like I said, where I'm at in the game of rewatching the game, I'm at about the halfway point of the fourth. Right about the time I feel like Jaylen Warren kind of flipped a switch. I feel like he kind of got things going. Now listen, George Pickens was making plays all game, so I can't say he he was making some things happen. But the extra yards that Warren's fighting for were huge today. A couple times he got first downs on it. A couple times he got just a couple extra. Whatever it was always, there was something extra that I thought Warren did today in the midway of the fourth that kind of gave a spark and a boost. As we're talking about George Pickens, I thought the things that he was able to do today, 130 yards maybe, touchdown, like he feels like he's the offense right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and where the Steelers are going to have to be careful is it seems like every completion. Now, he had one big in route that I can think of. That was a great pass by Kenny. And maybe there was something else going on there. But, like, I'm trying to think of all his completions. But it seemed like a lot of them were like a back shoulder fade ball. That's not – and I know they talked about on the broadcast. That's not the easiest completion. It's not the most high percentage. The Steelers are going to have to they're going to have to be careful if that's like – they're going to try and live in that world. For a couple reasons. I think George is getting real close to pushing off. And there were a couple times his hands were right there.
So I said that to Kans a couple times. I was like, not even a couple times. Every single play, he's pushing off at some extent. And I don't think it's a push off.
It's not egregious. It's not crazy.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a grounding. It's like, okay, I'm looking to, you know what I mean?
But if you get a wily veteran corner, he might know how to like flop a little, just things could happen. You just got to watch it. That's all.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I didn't see like,
right. There was nothing that was like, oh my goodness, they blew that call. Just got to watch it. And they're going to live in that back shorter world. And one of two things is going to happen. A good DB is going to end up watching that and he's going to end up flipping his head. He's going to intercept it. Or Kenny can throw it over the top and the DB is going to think the back shoulder's coming and it ends up going over his head. So there's good and bad that come with that back shoulder, but that's going to be a hard world to live in. Yeah. Hard world to live in if that's what they're trying. If that's their shots down the field, there's that back shoulder, it's tough.
Yeah. I will say
but he's got great, his body control is out of this world. His foot, his sideline awareness and control is out of this, is just really good. So they got a great thing going right there.
I know you talking about putting one guy in TJ Watt. It doesn't make any sense. I felt the same way. I might have been fourth down. It's escaping me because I feel like I've watched 4 of the games since then. But when they ended up when he caught that deep ball for a touchdown
at the end,
I thought the same thing. I was like, how are you gonna They're looking for that guy 1-on-1, and you guys haven't stopped him 1-on-1 all day.
Yeah, I agree with you. At some point, you're gonna start putting a safety over the top. You've got to start putting especially since Deontay's not out there.
I know.
And Pat's not in the middle. Like how are you not putting some safety? Maybe people aren't respecting him still and they're not still not worried about it. I don't know, but that's another guy you got to watch for.
Well, no, it was they were going for 4th down. I think that's what it was. It was like 4th and short.
Okay.
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, and, anyway, he was singled up on the sideline a lot. And but that's where you're going to get it. You're going to get that back shoulder a lot over there.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
And so I thought overall the Steelers did what they had to do. It wasn't pretty on offense again. I thought Matt did a great job this week, though, of mixing up. I thought the plays you rolled out, you threw the ball deep, you threw it short, you ran the ball. I thought he was less predictable this week, which I thought was really good. And maybe and some of that might have to do too with it being a closer game, right? You don't have to abandon this, you don't have to abandon that. And so I thought, but overall, I thought Matt did a great job this week of mixing some things up. And people want to get all over him for the offense, but you could be a great coordinator, call great plays. If it's not executed or if it's not blocked, you can only call the play. You can't go do it too.
Right. Well,
I just don't. It's hard to jump on one guy.
Well, and you might not be able to answer this, but that's what I was going to ask you because clearly living in Pittsburgh, you can't go anywhere online in real life without hearing the tension that's building around Matt and the Steelers offense. But at what level is it like the coordinator is drawing up plays that are predictable and we're figuring it out? Can you tell when it's not being executed? Can you tell when something is being executed? Right? Maybe we are making completions and getting yards, but receiver missed an assignment. You know what I mean? Like
runs the wrong route, not the right depth. Yeah, there's lots of things that could happen.
The biggest
as a fan. The biggest thing that you can look at when you say, man, the corner just doesn't have it is like if they're getting predictable. It's like, okay, they run the same play, or every time they get in this formation, this happens, or things like that, or if it's not really getting to a flow of the game, like it's run pass, run pass, whatever it may be, just mixing up some stuff. So there's a lot of ways that you can kind of see it and think about it if a coordinator's into a rhythm. And listen, coordinators can have great games too, where they're like a player, right? Player's just on today. There's times that I've been around coaches that they're just on. Man, everything that they're thinking of is working, and they're thinking 2 and 3 plays ahead. Because a good coordinator is thinking 2 and 3 plays ahead, the best ones. Because you're not just like looking, okay, let's see, okay, what happens? First down, 1st and 10. All right, we just got 3 yards, so it's 2nd and 7. Let me look.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my play. Call it. All right, let's see what happens. All right, we got 1, so it's 3rd and 6. Let me look for a play. You know what I'm saying? Like, good ones are saying, okay, it's 1st and 10. Here's my play call. Here's my 2nd and 10 call in case nothing happens. And if we get the 2nd short, they're prepared. I got two calls ready to go, maybe 3. And now it's like, okay, next, as soon as it happens, boom, here it is.
Yeah.
Like, they're thinking ahead. Like, if you watch a good coordinator on TV, or if you've been around, if you watch on a sideline, they're calling the play, and then they're literally like, and up until the ball snap, they're back on, they're down here. They're looking, and they're looking at their card, and they're trying to figure out what's next. Other play callers, which I've been around and seen, will call the play, and they watch. They're reactive, right, instead of proactive. You have to be a proactive signal caller, a play caller, to be elite level type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. Listen, it's not for everyone. Not everyone can do it, but those are the guys that are literally, they're like, let me peek up and see what happened.
Listen, I don't want to break the internet, but it sounds like you are very qualified to do this
Absolutely
job.
not. Absolutely not.
Hold on, what did you just say?
Absolutely not.
What were you saying about offensive coordinators?
I've had a cold for like 6 months.
Seems like you would.
No,
you would
but
know.
the thing that I would say right now, in watching today's game and watching the season so far, listen, there's some things that need to get fixed, but they'll get there. I'd like to see a little more sense of urgency out of the locker room. Beginning of the game, beginning of the half. And listen, it can be offense and defense, but as you know, I like to speak about the offense.
Yeah.
I've yet to see us come out and put together a drive at the beginning of the game, beginning of the half. We've not even like put together mini drives. We usually go 3 and out.
Yeah.
And that's brutal. We haven't started fast in the game. Feels like we're kind of getting a feel into the game. We had 3 points up until however far until we blocked a punt. I think So I'd like to see a little bit more urgency out of the gate, whatever that looks like.
How do you do that? Is it because I understand you have to have a game plan that you have to at least test out, right? And if things don't go if things go south early, then you're probably not abandoning it because you want to give it some reps to see what we're working with here first. But at the same time, if your opponent is kind of figured it out, how many times maybe not even figured it out, but it's what you thought they would do, they're not doing. How do you make that adjustment successfully?
Yeah. So it's hard because, like I said, you're not even really seeing first downs. What I'd like to see happen, I'd like to see the Steelers go into a game with the mentality and the approach of, if we get a first down, the first time we get a first down, we're going right to the line into a no huddle or hurry up offense. Let's change up the tempo. Go with it, pick up the pace, do something to catch them off guard. Now, we got to get a first down first because we're obviously struggling with that. I get it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is, okay, let's go into the game, ask Kenny, and I don't know maybe they do this, ask Kenny, give me your top 5 plays.
Yeah.
Can be a run, can be a pass, can be a naked sprint, boot, screen, whatever it is. Give me your top 5, top 10. Ask your quarterback coach, give me your top 10. O-line coach, give me your top 10. See if any of them fall together, where they do. And find ways to do you. Don't just run your basic run. Do some unique things. Yeah. I'm still waiting to see a wide receiver screen. I don't know that I've seen one. And I'm not saying they haven't. Maybe I've missed it.
Yeah.
But that used to be one of our staples. Catch, throw, get it to the outside where there's not the big guys in the middle.
Yeah.
Throw some wide receiver screens to get the ball moving. Maybe an alley screen, something coming in. But get the ball out of Kenny's hand quick. get it to a skilled position. I want to see what George does on the screen. Calvin Austin, I mean, Jiminy Christmas, that's what he does.
Yeah, you get George blocking for that,
man.
Dude, are you kidding me?
So that's why I really want to start seeing some wide receiver screen somewhere.
Yeah, and I do think you saw a little bit of that hurry up on one of those drives. Again, man, I'm so sorry. I probably should have paid more attention to it, but I was enraged half of the time. So, but it is one of those drives that felt more sustained. It is one of those drives when we did pick up, I want to say a couple first downs, but it did feel hurry up. It did feel
rushing a little bit.
We were pushing the tempo a little bit. So I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you. I feel like you would know.
Yeah, no, like best. I said, I didn't get to dive into it like crazy. I was watching on my phone. I was up at a golf tournament. We had the championship. Why don't you pour a beer and I'll tell about the golf thing. We were up at the championship today for the Pittsburgh fall season, and Benjamin had to win today, and he did. He ended up playing really well, and so we were kind of like watching on the phone while we were waiting at certain holes, like waiting. Let's watch. So that's why I say I'm not able to dive into it too deep, but super proud of him.
He's a champion now.
He's a champ. He's always my champ, but he was a champ today. Got his little trophy. Yes. He brought it down here, wanted to show you.
Yeah,
so, man. But no, super proud of him for that. So really cool. Yeah, really proud of him.
That is, gotta love that, man. Gotta love that because he's been battling all season for that.
Yeah, it's kind of a season-long thing, get points and whatever. So
that's legit.
He did great. So super proud of him. But that's why I'm not super detailed in my descriptions of.
Well, hey man, we got a bye week next week, and so we'll be able to regroup,
and come out of the bye firing.
Yeah,
all cylinders. Who does Steelers play after the bye?
The next team. I do have some questions about the bye, but we'll dive into this beer first, and I will break down what's happening with the beers here this evening.
Okay. Break it down.
Because we're gonna do a brewery takeover. All right. So we got the same brewery.
Rams.
Oh, headed west.
Okay. Sorry. Good.
Same brewery for all three beers. On the last episode, towards the end, I mentioned that Pouncey had called.
Yes.
And he had set something up. So Pouncey is the reason behind this. Pouncey was at Fatheads in the Strip District here. Fatheads Brewery. If you don't know about it, go check it out. It's awesome. And he was there on some business of his own.
Yes.
And he got us in contact with the good people over at Fatheads, and then they sent over almost too much beer. You have
such a thing.
You have cases from the good people at Fatheads. Yes. And so they gave us 3 to try here. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be a Fatheads beer episode. They gave 3, I think some of their staples, and some, definitely 2 of their staples, and one that they might just think is fun.
Do you know a lot about Fatheads? I mean, I've eaten there before.
I've eaten there. I've had some of their beers. I don't know that I've had any of these.
Okay.
I might have had the second one we're gonna do just because it's like the one. I don't remember it whatsoever. I will probably have never have ordered this one.
Okay.
Or the last one, but I'm excited to try them. All right.
Okay.
But this is Fatheads Goggle Fogger. I wanted to pronounce that properly because I feel like it almost sounds inappropriate, and I don't want to mess it up but it's called Goggle Fogger. Okay. All right, and it's a German style Hefeweizen.
Okay.
Yes, which you know, I love those.
Yes.
This is a wheat beer.
Yep.
All right, cloudy and unfiltered wheat beer. It is 5.4% alcohol, so it's a nice little.
Smells like your bubble gum.
Good for me. Nice little drinker, right? And it's 12 IBU, as a Hefeweizen would be. Oh, dude.
Not bad. You won't like it. You'll actually hate it.
As soon as I smelt it, I knew I wouldn't like this.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of mad at you.
Yeah.
Because you've ruined all winter, like all wheat beers for me.
You're welcome.
Because I didn't used to taste bubblegum until you, which I think is super rude on your part.
Well, I do what I can. I do what I can for the people. That is. Does it? You don't like it now?
It does taste like bubblegum. No, it's your fault. Because it wouldn't be that bad. And it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I don't like it. But if you like Hefeweizens, you would love this.
I think I could drink it. I'm not gonna drink a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I could drink it. It's a nice beer. I'm gonna give it a 5. It's middle of the road for me. In fact, I want to try one more little sip of it, please.
Yeah, the rest of that one there.
You're not gonna finish this one?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna.
Do you want to take the rest of the case home with us, or no? You just swish banquet. Yellow belly.
It's the nectar of the gods.
Okay, just checking, making sure. Okay.
Yeah. I'll give that a 4. Not my favorite, but I'll say this because I think it's important for people who enjoy craft beer and enjoy the craft beer segments.
Yeah.
If you like Hefeweizens, you probably would love that. It's not that I don't like that beer. I don't like that style of beer. But for what it is, that's like saying, hey man, this chocolate cake is terrible. I'm like, well, that's apple pie. Oh, that's a beautiful apple pie then. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about this beer. Like I don't like it.
I was so lost in what you just did.
I'm usually with you. You don't like my. I'm
usually with
you.
You
don't like my Tomlinisms? You don't like my Tomlinism?
Tomlinism. 10 minutes post game. His press conference that really talked about nothing.
So what I'm saying is I just don't like what it is, but it's good for what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm excited for the next one. Let's say that.
Okay.
Right. Oh, I'm here.
Pour 2/3, swirl the rest, top off the glass. So it must be a little bit of
little love
in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Goggle Fogger. Go check it out. So going into the bye week, what would typically, so if you're playing well, right? Mm-hmm. My assumption is, and feel free to correct me after I explain this. My assumption is let's double down. Let's evaluate everything because we have the time, right? And let's double down on what we're doing well. Keep on keeping on because we're playing well, right? If you're not playing well, the assumption is let's go in. We got the time to go fix some stuff, right? How does that typically take place? And how drastic of a like is this a we got to change players, change coaches?
Yeah,
is this like schemes? Like what are we talking about?
Yeah, well, I'd also like to say before I forget, I thought Kenny moved around today for someone that was like kind of questionable and had the big knee and came out of the game, potential meniscus, obviously wasn't, bone bruise, this, that, and the other. Like I thought he moved well. I don't know how much it hurt him, but moved around really well, made things happen with his feet to create a little bit longer. He's got to work on his pocket escapability a little bit. Like we talk about like escaping to the back door. Like he escapes the trouble sometimes. Like run the darkness. He just gotta just see a little bit. But no, I thought. But in saying that, I thought he moved well today, and so kudos to Kenny for fighting through it, being out there and giving your team a chance to win that game and winning it. So now when it comes to the bye week this week, early bye.
Yeah.
This is not what you want when you look at a schedule because you got so much on the back end now. Because really you talk about the bye breaking up your season, even no matter when it is. And this is an early one. You want to utilize it, guys, to get healthy usually. But I know you're still a lot of the guys that are hurt are still going to be out for a little bit, I think. Going into it at 3-2 with this win is a lot better than 2-3 and losing at Baltimore, losing 2 in a row, right? So I think they're going to go into it with a much better feeling than they would have, obviously, with a loss. Would think that some of the Fire Canada things would calm down a little bit. I would think a little bit. Yeah. There's still going to be people out there. I mean, they scored. I don't even know what the final score was. They scored, 17. So 2 touchdowns, right?
Yeah. 17-10.
So did they score 2 touchdowns? George had 1, and
I feel like I saw Boz out there a lot.
Boz hit a bunch. Okay,
we're doing great at this, by the way.
Sorry, everybody. No, but I guess I'm just saying, like, you're not making. First off, you're not going to. I don't think you're making a coordinator change in the middle of the season anyway.
Yeah. 2 in the fourth.
Was that
2 in the fourth?
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to make that change. And really, where you're at sitting at 3-2, I think you're number 1 in the AFC right now, AFC North right now. Like I wouldn't make a lot of changes at all.
Yeah.
You can go in and tweak some things. Tweaks and changes are a big difference. You're not coming in and overhauling anything. You're not, okay, where this guy's not playing, this guy's in, this guy's out. Like, let's maybe go at some schemes. Let's work on some wide receiver screens or whatever it is. Little things like that I think are appropriate. But at 3-2 going in, I think you should feel okay. Let's just figure out what we need to do moving forward to maybe fine tune things. How can we start faster? What's it going to take to score early? What's it going to take to find? Is it, you'd have to go through that, which I know when I was there, at least the Steelers weren't huge into analytics. Maybe times have changed a little bit, but you need to look at, okay, where are we deficient? Where is it yards on first down? Is it third down efficiency? Is it second down? Are we good at running the ball in double team kind of blocks, or are we better at zone? Like, I would use this time to break down where we're good and where we're not. Where you're good, fine tune it, keep working it. Where you're not, either get rid of it or get yourself better.
Yeah.
What's our passing game look like? Like, to me, the passing game feels very non-existent. It feels, and I know people are like, wait, George had 130 yards, but George is getting back shoulder fades.
Yeah, what do you mean by non-existent?
I know.
Maybe that's.
I know. Because back shoulder fades. Listen, they're working. He's getting 130 yards. You're like, what are you talking about? That's not like, to me, a back shoulder fade is you're most of the time you're trying to throw the fade over the top. But that's how I would tell guys. I expect the ball over the top, and then react to the back shoulder. You rarely ever say when a receiver runs a go route, like, you're not calling like, okay, back shoulder fade.
It's not planned in. That's almost like, not, hey man, we got nothing
it's an ad lib type thing.
Yeah, okay.
The quarterback sees the DB running. You've got a big guy. You're throwing it back shoulder. That's kind of what a back shoulder is. It's an ad lib type play, which is why I said it'd be hard to live in that world.
Sure.
I want to see more, like, where are the concept passes? Where's the choice route with an in behind it, with out-breaking bench routes, semi routes? Where's a skinny post? Where's you saw him catch a post. They were the concept post catch in Vegas, the touchdown. Now they tried to come back to something similar in Houston and got intercepted. But I want to see some. Where are the concepts where you've got a two beater on the side and a single beater on the other side, and you're trying to work high low. You're trying to inside out a guy. You're trying to throw maybe an empty quick game, not just throwing a swing to a back or a flat to a back. Like, where's a curl route? I haven't seen a 12-yard curl route, which is a staple in an NFL, which not even NFL, in a college in a football game. A 12-yard curl route is, or a hitch route. How about a 10-yard hitch route where you just 5 yards and turn around and catch a ball? Like, where are those routes? I would love to see one of those, a screen where they have the field and they put where the completions are on the field. I'm guessing a lot of it is going to be outside, like on the go, like the back shoulders and the goes, and then backs out of the backfield to the flats. Yeah. I don't see a lot over the middle working linebackers. Now, they tried it today a couple times. Now that I'm thinking about it, and they got knocked down. But what about that 12-yard curl route, that like I said, that skinny? We used to throw that skinny backside. George Pickens, I think, would be an amazing skinny runner, which by skinny post, it's like, it's fourth step, and then you're going to the upright. But it's not a deep one. It's like 3, throw it on a line. You're trying to hit them. Yeah. We've had guys since day one with me here that we would throw that all the time back there. I want to see stuff like that, like conceptual pass game. Right. That's what I mean by what I'm missing.
Yeah, because when the ad lib stuff tends to work, it's usually feels like a splash play because, again, it's like nothing. We're playing jazz out here, man. We're just making it up as we go. And obviously it's going to be difficult to be consistent when that's what you're relying on. And so when you start to develop the stuff that you're talking about, you now have an identity with your offense, right? You know things that are going to work. You know things that you can make work, and you don't have to rely on these things or rely on Jalen doing what he's doing, or like a Naj have a freak run or something like that. So,
so I think back to like in the Browns game, that touchdown, that's called a stick route. He goes up and he breaks out 5 yards, 3 yards. You can pick your depth. Like, that can be used on 3rd and 3. Go 4 yards and break out. Those are the things I want to see. I've been watching this new thing, not new, but it's a kind of a thing where receivers are now, instead of cross motioning, they're actually motioning out. I haven't seen the Steelers do that. Like, you're allowed to watch what other teams do and like copy some things. Like, that's like do that a lot actually.
Is that in the Steelers' DNA?
Should be. No, but it should. I mean, why not? They'll should throw some things out there.
Yeah, I'm curious with these like legacy teams, man, because you got a couple of them throughout the league that like this is their style of football. They have a brand of football, and as analytics start getting incorporated, when you have these like, I think about the QB sneak for the 3rd and 1, right? It seems like these little things that help, kind of get you across these bridges to maintain possession of the ball just don't really seem to make their way into these legacy teams because they have a certain style of football. You know what I mean? Like these. Yeah. It was kind of like when the mobile quarterback started kind of infiltrating the league, right? You guys know, like if we stay in the pocket and you kind of live both of them.
Yeah. You got to change the times a little bit.
That'd be interesting, man.
So all that's a long-winded answer for the bye week and what you can do.
Yeah.
Look at what you do well. Look at what you don't do. Big kudos to Danny Smith and the special teams. They blocked a punt for a safety, returning. Big one after the safety, a big return.
Yes.
Boz doing his thing. I mean, what's new? Boz makes them all. Good job, Boz. Yes. I thought. You know what else? Another thing you think about, I just thought about too, was talk about Lamar's game, like that interception in the end zone by JPJ. I mean, great play by him doing that, but just what are we doing? What's that throw?
That was 3 yards short.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a guy that goes up and does all these one-handed trick catches.
Yeah.
You got to do something else besides that. I mean, that's another one. You're in the red zone and things happen. So, just more plays that our guys. But a great play by him. I thought it was awesome.
But to your point, JPJ to be able to capitalize on that. You know
Good for him.
Like,
didn't just bat it down. Didn't panic when the ball was coming his way.
Made that play and really sealed the fate on it. Yep. And like you said, Miles, that block punt, man, it is not easy to do that in the league. Alex with the forced fumble. I feel like high wattage there on the line.
Yes.
Those two, man. Jeez.
Yeah. No, they're it's pretty good. There you go. There's that outside motion again.
Yep.
But no. So anyway, long-winded for the bye week.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to look like, but it feels a lot better going into it this way than it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'd like to see something, man. I'd like to see, and I don't know. I feel like as a fan, when you watch it and they're not moving the ball the way you want them to offensively. It feels like you get a couple 3 and outs. It feels like the entire world's falling down. But it's so close. And it's like, okay, that dude gets 1 more yard, it's a first down. That dude doesn't drop that, it's a first down. Or whatever. If he did a route that was a 7-yard route rather than a 3-yard route. You know what I mean? Like it's these little things, man. I'd be curious if, you guys always say winning solves everything. Like if it was the same kind of strategy, but it was just kind of working when it needed to, would it feel the same?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I would say this. I would say that I think too, as I'm sitting here thinking about the offense, and I know the frustrations in the city with the fans. I'm sure the players are frustrated as well. But I thought the frustration didn't seem to show from TV.
Sure.
It's like, okay, listen, I'm sure they're hearing they're hearing the boos. They have to be. But you're not allowing it to get to you. We just got to keep persevering. Yeah. We're down 10-3. Let's just keep going. And it seems like they just keep playing. Kenny, a couple times on 3rd down, like maybe scrambled out and just threw it away. Mm-hmm. Okay. He's not trying to force it. He's not trying to make a play down the field. Some people would be like, man, I wish he would try and make a play. But you know what? He's not making a bad play. And so I guess I'm just trying to give the offensive players some credit that they don't seem, in my opinion, to be showing a lot of panic or frustrations when they're out there in terms of hearing the crowd and reacting to the crowd.
Yeah. How would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, how difficult is it if you are getting or you are on the receiving end of the boos and
it's awful.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Like, how are you able to overcome that to put together a drive?
You've got to, I've had it happen.
What impact does it have on you?
It's terrible. I've had it happen in the first half, and I go in at halftime, and I'm like, Do y'all hear that? Like, that is, like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It makes you mad. But you're like, listen, we deserve it.
Yeah, we got to earn
We
that.
stink.
Yeah.
And what you just have to do is you have to be able to just move on. Like, you have to say, listen, we can't.
Yeah.
You can't press. Like, it naturally you want to press. Like, by press, I mean try harder, go harder, force that throw. Maybe try and earn the extra yard when you're running, and then bad things can happen. Like, you got to be careful that you don't try and react to the fans' reaction. You've got to sit there and say, yep. And sometimes people react in the sense of like whatever, like, you don't boo us. Like, no, they have every right. They're paying fans. We're their entertainment. If we don't do it, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But you've got to just find a way to just. It's not easy because, like I said, it is frustrating and embarrassing and lots of things.
Yeah. I think that's a level of the game that we don't realize plays a bigger toll than it actually does.
It's hard because you're a professional athlete.
Right.
And you want to please your teammates. You want to please. You're out there to please the fans. You want to make the fans happy. You're playing for the fans too. And when you don't make them happy or you make them upset or frustrated,
right?
Like, yeah, I mean, you're more mad than they are, but you still, it's still something that's real. Like, you're as a grown man, this is my job. Like, I want to do this anyway. Like, I get that I'm not just doing it for them. I'm doing it for my teammates and my family and a lot of other things, but it still makes you.
Yeah, but that's your city, man. Those are your people. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine anyone's going out there and no one's trying to be terrible.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
so if they're booing, you probably feel like, hey, man, I'd boo. If I wasn't me, if it wasn't me who threw that interception, I'd boo that guy too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I get it. All right, well, this one.
Another one.
Yeah, I will say
heads.
The last one, or all three of these actually are award-winning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, fathead.
Yeah, I don't know what award, but shoot, to win any is pretty dope. This is This is called Headhunter, and this is kind of their flagship IPA.
This is the TJ Watt.
This is the TJ Watt. This is from Fatheads Brewery. It's called TJ Watt. All right, otherwise known as Headhunter. It is a West Coast IPA. It says it's aggressively hopped. All right, and it's 7.5% with 80 IBU.
Oh, so this is bitter.
Ooh, the old palate record.
We went from 12 bitter to 80 bitter.
Yeah, this got you written all over it. I cracked this open and I thought, that's a hoppy beer.
It is hoppy and it is bitter.
Is it? Should we have done this last? You're not going to be able to taste the next one.
Thick on the tongue.
This one's dense.
There's a coating on my tongue right now.
It's oh yeah, dude. You know what that kind of tastes like? This is a deep cup. It reminds me, I don't want to say it kind of tastes like it, but it reminds me of Green Flash's West Coast IPA. I don't know if you've ever had that. It used to be my favorite IPA. Beer people, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know if these two are similar. Headhunters, this is very good. Fatheads, I understand why this won an award, but it reminds me of Green Flash. I got to bring you one of Green Flash's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very good.
I'm 7. Seven's my number.
You sure? Why?
Old number. 7 is my
number.
Is my beer number from a beer that I like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, I like that beer.
Yeah.
And I could drink it, would enjoy it, could drink one or two.
But it's not.
Tell my friends, but it's not my this is my guy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have we ever hit a 10?
We've never had a 10. 10's like a Great White Buffalo.
I know, but there's got to be some. There's got to be some standard of like.
I know.
But what would you even do?
Like?
I feel like it would have to. There would have to be
like fireworks in your mouth.
Yeah. Well, it'd have to be different. Like there'd have to be 10 for a lager, 10 for an IPA. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go 7. It is aggressively hopped.
Yeah. If you're out and you're having a couple beers and you want to sample some stuff, like drink that last. You ain't gonna be able to taste nothing after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. I'll give it a 7.5 for IPAs, man. I think that's a very good IPA. Yeah. The last one, we're going to get a little weird.
As we should.
Right?
As we should.
Per the usual. So I feel like we have covered the game. Is there any news going around the league, man? That was interesting.
So this is Benjamin's last golf tournament, so I'm going to be a little more.
Yeah, you've been full dad, and not only have you been full dad, you've been living your life. Listen, man, you gave us 18 great years. You're out here living your life.
I am. I know.
You're caddying for your son.
Yep.
You're going to concerts.
I'm going to
enjoying
concerts.
your life.
I was at a concert this weekend.
Were you?
Yeah, it was that one. Did you go?
I was there with you
With
actually.
us.
Yeah, that was just a setup. Segue. Yeah.
Yes, we had a great time. We had 30 people, a bunch of our,
we did, dude.
A bunch of our close friends and all their kids.
Yeah.
So all the kids came, and we went and saw
Metallica.
Yeah,
with all the kids.
No, we went. Andrew Rip opened up.
Yeah.
And he did awesome. And it's funny because the kids were like, "Do we know any of his songs?" And then next thing you know, they're saying like 4 of them, right? Like, yes, you do. And he opened, and then Crowder, who is an unbelievable talent.
Yes.
Like, if you don't know Crowder and you listen to it, you wouldn't know, first off, I mean, unless you really listen to the words, that he was a Christian singer.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because it feels so like...
How would you... Yeah, this would be a good game.
How you would describe
How would you describe Crowder's music?
It's like a combination of I think why he's so talented is it goes from like... He hits it with some hard like rock in a way.
Yep.
Gets a little like soulsy.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bluesy at times with the guitars. Excuse me. And then can take you to church.
Yep.
His lyric, I mean, he's very lyric. He's a good lyrics, like good lyrics.
He's good at his job.
You would see, you're a musician, so you would understand how to explain it better. But that's my non-musician way to explain Crowder. Like talent up the wazoo.
Yeah,
he's so good.
It's like swampy Southern hip hop influenced worship music.
See, that's why I let you do it. Why did I say anything?
There you go, Crowder. That's what it is. It's awesome.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then obviously Mercy Me.
Yeah.
Finished the night off. I think, like, obviously Mercy Me is worship. I mean, it's very feel goody, and not that Crowder isn't feel goody, but Crowder's show that he puts on is something special. So do you remember this moment? He opened one of his songs up with the sample of Jesus Walks.
Yes. Doom, 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 doom. And so you and I looked at each other, and we were the only two people in our suite that realized what it was.
What's going on here?
Nobody else knew it was Jesus Walks.
Like just unique. But then Mercy Me finished off the night, and Bart and the boys, they always do such a good job. I mean, we've seen their show, and this was their first stop on their new tour.
Yeah, man.
Played some of their new stuff, and it was just such a great night. Great, especially having all the kids there, and just good people. And then they came back here afterwards and all hung out.
Yeah.
And we just got to just spend time with everybody and have some fun, some good laughs.
Ate some good food.
Ring toss was going on. We had food. We had darts was going on. So it was just I don't know, just a fun night. The kids were my youngest Bodie beat Crowder in the ring toss.
Yeah, but he
didn't like that.
That was a given.
It was a given.
Bodie's actually undefeated at that ring toss game. Yeah.
But I love when those guys come over because the stories they tell. Like Crowder told the story of his football career.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished wide receiver.
Yes, he played one play.
Yeah,
got hit and said it's not for him. So he said he's just a track runner. And then just the story time and the time with those guys, and then for some reason Crowder thought that he could catch a 10-yard pass from me if I threw it as hard as I could.
Yeah, so he and I'll set that story up for you because I think the details are hilarious. He told you the story where he went out for a pass in practice. This was not a game. Mm-hmm. And he used to run track. Football coach said, "You're fast, come do this." Gets hit. Mm-hmm. Takes his pads off on the field and walks out. Mm-hmm. He has that experience with playing the game of football. And then with all the confidence that Crowder could muster up, he said, "Oh, I could do that. You throw it as hard as I could." Yeah, you don't understand. I caught the ball in that one pass.
Yeah, I got hit and I hung on to it.
I hung on to it. And so you, an 18-year veteran, future Hall of Fame quarterback, from 10 yards away, throwing as hard as you possibly can.
Well,
Not
I would
possibly.
say this. I started with like 30%.
And I'll say the throw that we were talking about, I've seen you throw hard, like for real.
Yeah.
That was not as hard as you.
No, it was probably 80. I got there. But yeah, so I told him that I wanted him to be fully protected. So I gave him my shoulder pads. He put my shoulder pads on. I gave him actually a Super Bowl helmet. He put it on with a visor on it to protect him when I broke my nose. So he was standing down here in the basement, right over there.
Yep.
With one of my helmets on and shoulder pads on. And I just kind of was easing him into it a little bit, and he wasn't catching them, and he was getting mad because he was close to catching some when I was just kind of going 30%, 40%. And so then one time it like hit his wrist, and I think it like his watch
got him,
and like so he's like bleeding.
So that's the first sign that you are not a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You started while you were wearing a watch.
Yeah, I think his bracelet broke off, like all kinds of stuff. And so then he got close to catching one at probably 50%, and he got like. He kind of tried to hot shot me.
He gassed himself up.
Yes, and so he
did.
threw the ball back at me kind of hard, like threw it, and I like caught it. I was like, oh, really?
Yes.
Really? That's where we're at right now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fine. Okay, let's do this. So all Mercy Me's down, the band's here, Crowder's band's here, like everyone's down here, and they're all filming this. And so I said, okay. And I held the ball up and said, I'm not going to hide the ball. I'm going to throw it right at you. And,
What happened, Ben?
He realized that it was coming in pretty quick. And then I wasn't messing around. He realized he poked the bear a little bit. And, he ducked out of the way.
He ran into the closet.
He ran into the closet that was right there. And, but he left his hand behind as he ran like this. And it caught his finger.
Yes.
And I think dislocated his left index finger. And he's in the closet. Next thing you know, the helmet comes like flying out and everything. And someone was like, "You're right, Crowder. You sure are fast."
Yeah.
But yeah, and so then he had to play like the next night with a swollen index finger and all this, that, and the other. He texted me like, "I eat pain for breakfast."
Oh yeah. He definitely ate
like
the pain.
that.
That's for sure. Yeah.
There. So, but anyway, just a fun night of just fellowship with good people. And all the things that go on with all that. So appreciate those guys. And if you're in a town or an area where those guys are, like go check them out, man. It's
a good show,
man.
It's
a great show. So
super solid show.
Thanks, Brick.
Scott Brickle.
Appreciate you, buddy.
The legend.
For all that you do.
Yeah, Scott Brickle actually wrote a book. And if you don't know about Brickle, he's 30 year, probably maybe 30 year, maybe longer, even veteran of the music industry.
Maybe like 80 years.
Yeah, so 80 years. He's been in the music industry for 140 years. But it's called The Business Behind the Song. Go check it out.
Yep.
It's a great book.
So that was this has been a fun weekend. Especially with the Steelers winning and everything.
I know.
I really keep thinking if there's anything else about the game. Like we're really probably wrap this thing up. Like we're all
well,
there's something else you gotta.
No, here's the deal, man. Like,
because I know nothing about any games. I know nothing, no news.
I'm very excited that we can like coast on this win. You know what I mean? Because it's like
savoring this win through a bye is nice.
Yeah, so it's always tough, when we don't play well and it doesn't pan out, obviously in the final score. But we have this. It's like there's plenty of things we can look at and point to as negative. But listen, man, we got the dub. Let's hope. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. That was a phenomenal play in this game that we were just watching right here.
Yes.
But let's give the benefit of the doubt that when we come back in LA. It's gonna feel like a fine-tuned machine, and we'll have something to ride off into the sunset with the rest of the season. Hopefully, make a run. That's what I'm holding on to.
I think that's a good one to hold on to.
So, with that being said,
let's finish it up.
The final.
This is the best thing to do. Backed up on your own one. Take that deep shot. Get the 99-yard touchdown. I've had a couple of 90-yarders in my career. They're pretty fun. Just throw it, let it happen.
Yeah. Has there ever been one of those? That one, who were you guys playing where you threw to Juju and he cut over?
In Denver.
Did you know that was going to pan out the way it did?
No. He catches, he starts running. You're like, he might score. He might score. He might score.
Did you start walking down the field or to the sideline? Where do you go?
You're kind of like going down the field in case you're not sure if he's going to get caught or not. But then you kind of realize it, and you're just start hugging your lineman. You're like, we don't have to go all the way down there. We can go off the field.
We don't have to go all the way. All right.
What do you know? A hitch route.
Hitch route.
Or it could have been a curl. Either way, it's 8 yards, turn around.
Do you have a favorite?
Or some like we used to have a play called I got him. Yeah. Like what about rub routes, crossing routes? I just haven't seen it. Not saying they haven't done it. I'm just saying I haven't seen it.
Is that you haven't seen it from the Steelers, or you don't see it?
No, it's from the Steelers.
Yeah,
stuff that used to be like a staple for us. Mm-hmm. I think about a couple of like my favorite play calls. Like I could probably think of 6 to 10 of my favorite play calls that were staples that really worked well for us.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen. And now listen, that's probably because Matt changed the play. I mean, he changed the playbook, and that's fine. You can have your own, but you can still keep concepts that work. Like those plays were very successful for us for a while.
Yeah.
You can still use them. Like it's not like against the rules.
Well, let's do this. You know how you typically do a 2-minute drill? We'll do a fake one. I'm going to give you a scenario. You tell me what play you'd call.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Nowadays?
Yeah. It's 2 minutes, second quarter. All right. You got the ball. You're down by 3.
2 minutes in the second quarter? Oh, like at the end of the half?
Yeah, okay. End of half, right? You're on the 50-yard line.
50-yard line,
All right. It's 3rd and 6.
Yep.
What do you call?
Nacho.
Me too. What's a nacho?
Nacho's a play. It's a choice route. Nacho choice. Now, I would also say this. It depends. Like I would know in that situation. Okay, what's their tendencies?
And you have the current Steelers lineup.
Yeah. I would. And so what I'm checking is okay. What do they usually do? Like in their are they a zone team or a man team? If it's zone team, I love the nacho because Pat gets to sit down at like 6 yards.
Yeah.
We also have stuff coming in behind. We have that skinny route behind him. And if you know that it's a man route, then or know that they're a man defense, I'm calling Cadillac or Twizzler. Because all of them are like man, but people are on the move. They're crossing each other. Mm-hmm. You've got to out route. Just rubs, anything that gets people moving.
Okay.
So those are things that I would go to early.
All right, you're playing the Browns.
I'd call anything.
I'd take a nap and then get woken up after we won the game. You're playing the Browns.
Yep.
It's 4th and goal. There's 13 seconds left.
Yep.
Where are you going?
I mean, we're down, obviously.
Let's call it tie game. Tie game, no timeouts.
Oh, send balls in, kick field goal, win it.
All right. You're down by 4.
Balls.
All right. You're down by 4.
Well, down there, so that's the thing. When you're down there in the red, you're going to have a special group of plays.
Yeah.
I'm either going with a cardinal or a cardinal up. And that's either that little stick route to Pat, or if you know that they're jumping, he sticks out and then goes to the back. Take a shot, win it, back pot, throw it up in the back, upright, and let him catch it.
All right, last one. All right, you're on your 4-yard line.
My own 4.
Your own 4.
Yeah.
All right. It is the first play in the game.
First play. Oh, back to my own 4.
Yeah. You're backed up to your own 4. And you're playing. Who's got a unique defense? Let's say you're playing the San Francisco 49ers. This year's 49ers. What's your play call?
It's tough. It's beginning of the game. I'm probably just trying to get it out, running it. But if I'm trying to take my shot and do it, I'm going to go back to my Cadillac because it's got a man beater, but it's also got some zone stuff where guys can sit down. But you also have a chance to hit a go ball. Guy converts a route. He's running a 12-yard out route, which again I don't see our guys do. 12-yard out route, but if he's pressed at all, he gets to run a go, and you can take a shot for a 96-yard touchdown. And
I'll put all the money in my wallet that's probably going to Deontay. If you're throwing it.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're throwing it, yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what you would do.
Yeah, just little things like
New
that.
segment called That's What You Would Do.
That's what would Ben do?
What would Ben do? All right, well, in order to wrap this up, we got to get through this last beer. And this last beer, again,
it's got flavor, some sort of flavor to it.
It's got flavor, dog, because it is Fathead's award-winning Bumbleberry Honey Blueberry Ale. That's right.
Not a sour.
No, it's not a sour. You know why? Because it's light, refreshing, and it's brewed with honey and blueberries.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
you're looking at 5.3 with a 13 IBU.
This is probably super. Another low IBU.
Yep.
Huh.
What is that? Huh. You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
It's not as blue, but it's not sweet at all.
You know what this kind of smells like? It kind of smells like it kind of smells like those non-minty candy canes, like the fruity candy canes. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Kind of smells like how that tastes.
It's not sweet, which is nice.
Really?
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, I'm so happy that is not sweet. That is very good.
It's not. Yeah, because if it was sweet, it was like real, like yeah. Then you'd be like, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought I was gonna hate that.
I like it.
I really like that. It smells way sweeter than it is.
I would.
Fatheads, all right.
Man, yeah, well done, Fatheads. Like I said, I haven't dove into a lot of their stuff. Mm-hmm. I've had some. I like this a lot. This would be my favorite of the night.
Really?
Yes, I would take this over that IPA, I think.
I thought for sure that was going to be it.
I liked it.
Well, double back to that, see what you think.
But the amount that was left on my tongue after that one.
Right, just yeah.
This is just, I just like the lightness of it. Maybe it's the mood I'm in too.
Yeah.
The light and
yeah,
which is weird because it is so like cold outside and everything.
Yeah, but you're going on 2 victories. Jamming won, the Steelers won. You feeling good today? You know, feel light.
I feel light, and I feel light and fresh and happy. I feel like a bumblebee. I like that. I like that. So,
yeah, man. How would you rate that out of 10? That's really good.
7.5.
I might even push that to an 8, man.
I'm just taking a little more than that head on her.
And I might
TJ Watt.
And I might only feel like that because I thought my expectation was very low. I thought I was gonna hate it. So it surpassed my expectation.
Crafties. Well done.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8. Well, I'll say this. Fatheads. It's not sponsored by Fatheads. They just sent this in, and they've been super rad.
Yeah, thank you, Fatheads, for doing this.
Yeah,
so thank you, Pounce, for setting it up, and thanks, Fatheads, for sending it.
Yeah, let me thank their person that set it all up, man, because they worked pretty hard to get this in order. Kelsey from Fatheads, thank you so much for organizing this. And
thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, she reached out.
Appreciate you very much. Very kind.
Yes.
We will.
I gotta stop back.
We got a bunch of them now, don't we? We could dabble in these a little more.
Yeah, dog. You got a whole lot of. But their food's actually really good too.
You're taking all the FOIs as well.
No, that's all you, dog. I already put them in your fridge. I'm not. Yeah, but well, hey, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show, and thank you so much for your time. And what's nice is that we got through our cookbook. Yeah, unfortunately, at this moment, all the cookbook, the pre-sale is closed. The final order of the cookbooks are being sent out. Thank you guys for reaching out. And
the cookbooks are done.
They're done.
Oh, nice.
They're limited release. We got them out. Thank you guys so much for
appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Getting those things and sharing your guys' stories and photos with them. We've been getting those as well. So
you can keep sending them too. You can send those.
Yeah, send them all throughout the season. It's really cool to see how you guys are making the dishes your own, cooking them. Hopefully we'll have some more cool stuff like that happen in the future. So
awesome.
That being said, we appreciate you guys. If you are not already, go ahead and tune in. Go ahead and follow.
You can watch this if you want.
Go ahead and tune into Instagram. And follow at footballing with Ben on Instagram. Stay up to date on all the kind of crazy stuff that we are doing on this show. Other than that, appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next time.